Guys, for the past several years, I've been involved with a new connected fitness device called nexersys. Think Peloton, but for guys like us who prefer to punch something for a workout. It's like a focus mitt coach / sparring partner who doesn't punch back, all wrapped up into one incredible product. With nexersys, every aspect of your punches is measured, tracked, and analyzed. Each unit comes with an 18.5-inch high-definition tablet that delivers crisp 3D graphics in real time. The multi-axis strike pads are incredible. They're loaded with sensors that provide power and accuracy data in real time. The frame is made from industrial-grade steel, and the components you'll come in contact with provide low-impact resistance, so you're not going to injure yourself. It's also height adjustable, so no matter what size you are, you're assured a perfect fit. The technology behind nexersys is light years ahead of anything else in the industry. Its cloud-based N3 software provides dynamic video and animated training connecting users from around the world. There's a ton of stuff I can't share with you today, but I promise I'm going to tell you in the near future. In the meantime, go check out nexersys.com for more information. Hey guys, let's unpack this and try to stay with me. This weekend's main event, Angry Marvin Vettori versus Paulo Costa. Now, two different stories. Try to combine them. Paulo Costa is good at English. He's not great. And that's relevant because as you're reading quotes that somebody else heard and then report to you as it pertains to Paulo Costa, which are hard to keep up with anyway, in addition to the fact that there's a language barrier, it just creates a lot of unknown. Bear with me. Marvin Vettori comes out first. Marvin's talking about his own manager, Ali Abdelaziz, went to Waleed Ismail, who is the manager of his opponent, Paulo Costa. Finds out that Paulo showed up fight week very heavy. Gonna have a real hard time making 185 pounds. Now, you don't have to put on your Colombo rain jacket when it gets to the point that managers are pulling managers aside, even when they use words like it's going to be difficult, or this may not this is them telling you. Make no mistake in the wordplay. By the time it gets to a manager speaking to another manager, it means my athlete is not going to make weight, the end. What do you want to do about it? This isn't brand new for us as MMA fans. When we just went through this roughly 3 weeks ago, when Nick Diaz contacted Team Robbie Lawler to let him know we got to change it from 170 to 185, and this is on fight week. As a matter of fact, we, the viewer, didn't know Robbie Lawler's response because he was in the air flying from Florida to Las Vegas. All right. To nobody's surprise, Lawler does not give a damn, and the show goes on. But not everybody's a badass like Lawler. The week prior to that story that I just told, Aspen Ladd had a fight at 135 pounds. Aspen missed weight by 2 pounds, which only puts her 1 pound above the catch weight limit of 136. The opponent then has the choice. Do you want 10% of Aspen's purse, which is a pretty beautiful purse, to continue on with the fight in addition to what you're already getting, or do you want the fight off? And the opponent chose, I want the fight off. It's not going to happen. She didn't make the deal. Now, I don't pass a judgment there. I am sharing with you just in the last month of MMA, we've seen this happen twice. We've gotten 2 different results, and now it looks like it's going to happen to our main event. Who told you? In all fairness to you loyal followers, but who told you? As real as the Chael curse is, as much as I can't seem to predict who's going to win a fight, I do get these things right all the time, don't I? That's a very weird prediction for me. When I was asked on ESPN about Paulo Costa and Vettori, I came out and said, I don't think Paulo's going to make weight. Now, one of my concerns with Paulo Costa is he's a dream. He's what you wish that you looked like. He's what I wish. Every time I've ever been in a weight room and lift something, it's because somewhere in my head, I'm going to get myself looking like Paulo Costa. Just fantastic. And he came from a background of powerlifting. It's just what he used to do. He takes muscle, he takes fitness, he takes it very seriously. He made a lifelong commitment before he even transferred to MMA. And one of the hardest battles he's had in his young but beautiful career, it's like 15-1, already fought for a world championship main event guy. One challenge that he has had consistently is getting down to 185 pounds. So the fact that Paulo Costa has been removed from the sport is all that led to my prediction of going on ESPN and saying I worry that he's going to make the weight class. I even came for you guys. Big question when he gets done with Izzy Adesanya, right? It wasn't just to Adesanya, what's next? There's also the question to the number one contender, Paulo Costa, what's next? My guess was, I think Paulo's going to change weights. Now, if you remember this time, how long ago was that? 17 months, 19 months? Rough time frame? But 205 pound was under some real reconstruction. Get this new face in town named Jan Blachowicz. You have the exit to an older face in town named John Jones. You have a clear star named Dominic Reyes who's looking for an opponent. This is just on the backside of the Rockhold/Weidman experiment not being successful. 205 was very open. And I just guessed for you way back then. I think Paulo would go 205. He didn't do it. I got that one wrong. Or did I? We've always said that Aspen Ladd is a featherweight. Our evidence that she's a featherweight is that she couldn't make 135. If you cannot make 135, but you can make 145, by obvious deduction, you are a 145 pounder. Is that what's happening with Paulo Costa? I hope so. In all fairness, if this information turns out to be true, this is not officially reported. We have Marvin Vettori telling us that Marvin's manager, Ali, was pulled aside by Costa's manager, Waleed Ismail, to have this conversation. This is not broken yet. Now, guys, by the time I sit here and I talk to you and you hear me talking, we're separated by anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour. So if by the time you hear this, it's already announced, I'm sharing with you right now, we do have to guess just a little bit. And if, let's just take it from the perspective of if, this fight gets changed to 205 because Paulo Costa cannot make 185. I do hope that it's a one-off. I hope it's a one-time. That we take the example that I keep turning to in Aspen Ladd because it's of most recent memory, that we take that and we apply it instantly to Paulo Costa. That he does not have to miss weight a second time, a third time, or a fourth time. That with one miss, he understands he's a 205 pounder. I say that one because I care about him. I think it's helpful to his career. I have a history with Paulo Costa. He matters to me. But two, as a fan and an outside observer. One way to have a great career, guys, is to be able to extend your career. Your career will be judged by you and others in many ways. Gold medals, championships, absolutely. Having a beautiful resume, absolutely. Record, you betcha. But the years that you're able to do it, other people will sit back the same as they were in awe of, oh my gosh, how'd you get to be the best? Oh my gosh, how did you get to be ranked in the top 10? Oh my God. One of those oh my goshes is how did you extend your career? How were you able to do it for a decade? How were you able to do it for 2 decades? It's very real. And the people that were able to do it are going to have varying answers, but one of those commonalities is that they didn't leave it in the gym. They didn't leave it on the road. They did not beat themselves up in the practice room to a point that they now can't do it in front of the world in the cage. And that scale is a son of a bitch of an opponent. It will change your life. It will change how much you sleep. It will make irritability, your comfortableness, your calories in versus calories out. It's a real life choice. And when many people finally walk away and they go, look, I just don't want to do this anymore. If you were to break it down real slow, okay, what is it you don't want to do? And if you were to start just breaking that down, a lot of it's going to tie in to the battles that you have at the scale the day before, which is why I bring to you, when you have the muscle mass of Paulo Costa, look, it's been reported, put this in perspective for you. It's been reported that he showed up on fight week at 211 pounds. Let's just say that's true. It's all the info we have, but let's say that's accurate. And I would guess that it is. If you're above a weight class, I don't like the idea fundamentally of passing up one weight to get to another weight. I don't hate the idea, and some of this is the coach in me. I coach high school wrestling. I don't hate the idea of pulling to the nearest weight class. Whether that's 2 pounds down or that's 4 pounds down, what have you, pulling to the nearest and closest weight class if you choose. I don't have a problem with that. I always have a problem, regardless of the kid or what's at stake, of pulling, but you pass a weight class and try to go to another one. There's exceptions to every rule. There's some body types where that can be very helpful. When you have a body type of Paulo Costa and you're 5 pounds above a weight class and you're trying to pull those 5 but not stop at that weight, you're trying to pull another 20 to get down. Look, it's very taxing. Only point I'm attempting to prove, and I think that I've succeeded. Not to mention for us, the viewer, the incredible parity for Paulo Costa at 205 pounds. That parity has not changed from the day that Paulo came in second at 185, and I predicted for you guys he would go to 205. As a matter of fact, the road for Paulo Costa is clearer in terms of a championship path just to get to the championship match. It's clearer at 205 pounds. The case could be made easier. Now, all I've told you so far is what Vettori said. Spent the last 5 minutes telling you what Vettori said, but allow me 50 seconds to tell you what Paulo Costa said, because Paulo came out and said, we're going to have to do this at 195. Or for the fans, even better, 205. Now, that is just flat funny. This is the guy who's having weight issues, and he wants to make it 205 pounds. Of course, the guy having weight issues wants it as heavy as possible. And then he said, for the fans. Didn't mention because I'm really thirsty and hungry myself, and I'd like to just go to the buffet instead of getting these few extra pounds off. That's all fine, and I don't judge him for it, but it is a piece of comedy relief to this situation. But now we have Vettori saying it's not going to happen at 185. We have Paulo Costa saying it's not going to happen at 185. We don't have any headlines that are official. We do believe, based on both athletes speaking, the fight is going to go on. I argue for you now, do it at 205. I get catch weights, and we most certainly need to listen to Vettori's opinion. Vettori is being the tough guy, stepping in and agreeing that the show and the contest must go on, even though a verbal and signed agreement was broken by the other side. So Vettori gets 100% credit here. The same credit that Lawler got a few weeks ago. It's just Lawler's such a badass for a long time. It didn't surprise anybody. This is a great move by Vettori. But if we're going to do it, consider doing it all the way. Paulo Costa, get the party going at 205 pounds. Don't make the same mistakes that Aspen Ladd is. And guys, my goal here is not to say what weight class these two are going to fight. There's a number of reasons that it could be 195, 197, 186. You're going to have gamesmanship on both sides. You don't want to give an advantage. How long has Paulo Costa known about it versus Vettori? And you spring this on him, and what do you want to do? Look, let that go. I still like the idea of Paulo Costa at 205 pounds. I dislike the idea of Paulo Costa trying to go back to 185 in the future. As human beings, one thing tends to be true, which is we do not get smaller. Unfortunately, with time, we get bigger. So as this time goes on, a guy that already looks like he's carved out of stone, who's already 5 pounds above 205, certainly big enough for the weight. Mentally, is he aware of it? And for us as fans, I think that the parity is pretty compelling.